Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Martin. Let's talk about books. On our slides, I have provided for you, like always, our book cover so that you can see what it looks like on the shelves. And your title and author are listed up at the top, as well as the genre in the top right corner. All of that is there for you in case you want to record that information in some way, and hopefully it makes it easy for you to find that book or, jot it down for your future planning. Our first book today is Killing Mr. Griffin by Lois Duncan. Have you ever had a teacher so awful that you dread every moment of being in their class? Well, trust me, those teachers are nothing like Mr. Griffin. I'm going to read just a selection of the story. These students are only planning to scare their English teacher. They are not planning to get themselves in such a bad situation here. Right now, the scene I'm going to read, they have their teacher in the woods tied up. You really want me to believe you're planning to commit murder? You better believe it, because it's true. Why? What would you gain by doing an insane thing like that? I told you before, revenge. Revenge for every stingy, cruel, rotten, stinking thing you've ever done to us, any of us. You made us crawl. Now we're going to make you crawl. Beg us, Mr. Griffin. Plead with us. Let's hear you whine. I most certainly will not, Mr. Griffin said. God, he's stubborn, Jeff said under his breath to Betsy. You've almost got to like him a little, I don't like him. She moved closer and bent over, studying the man's face. She had never been this close to Mr. Griffin before. She could see the afternoon growth of hair prickling beneath the smooth white skin, and the black mustache moving slightly with the breath from his nostrils. His neck was thin and pale, and his Adam's apple jutted out like a doorknob. She thought, he's ugly, even uglier than the policeman. In her mind, the two images drew together, overlapped, and became one. If she were to remove the blindfold, she knew she would find beneath it the policeman's cold, insolent stare. Make him cry, she said to Mark. I want to see him cry. He'll cry all right. We'll make him cry if it takes a week. Mark's face was flushed and feverish looking. How about a nice slow death, Mr. G? Like lying right here on the ground and starving to death. I don't believe you would do that. You have too much to lose. We don't have anything at all to lose. All we have to do is go home and leave you here. Nobody will ever find you. Nobody knows about this place but us. The man on the ground made no answer. Look, Jeff said to Mark, time's running out on us. We need to get back if the things we've set up are going to work. Maybe we ought to loosen the ropes so he can work his way out of them and take off. What do you think? I think you're nuts, Mark said. He doesn't get out of here till he begs. We agreed on that. But it doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to. Don't you worry your head about that. He'll break. But we're out of time. Then we'll leave him, Mark said. They only planned to scare their English teacher. But sometimes even the best laid plans go wrong. Killing Mr. Griffin by Lois Duncan. Check that one out in the mystery section. When You Trap a Tiger by Tay Keller is in fantasy, so you'd look under the K's. In this story, Lily's halmoni, the Korean word for grandmother, has stolen something. And it's something important, but she stole it from something unusual, a large talking tiger. And this tiger is the trickster from Halmoni's stories. But now Halmoni is acting strangely. It might be an illness, or maybe it's a curse. It's kind of unclear. When the tiger offers to cure Halmoni if she returns what's been stolen, Lily has to decide. Should she make the deal and trust the tiger or not? You've got to read this book to find out. kind of a magical realism type story. You'll love it when you trap a tiger. King and the Dragonflies by Kaysen Callender, realistic fiction. In this story, King is 12 years old and believes that after his older brother, Khalid, died, that Khalid turned into a dragonfly. Believes that he sees him everywhere. Before Khalid died, he warned King to keep his distance from his best friend. Sandy is King's best friend, and Sandy, it's rumored, is gay. And in their small town in Louisiana, this is a dangerous situation. Well, King didn't take that warning at first, but then he does put aside his friendship with Sandy, taking Khalid's advice, and then Sandy goes missing. I won't tell you more about that whole situation other than in this story, it is a story of friendship. It's a story of changing identities. It's a story of grief and loss and love. It is a book I absolutely adored. King and the Dragonflies, Kaysen Callender is the author. Look for it in realistic fiction. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I think both this cover and the cover we have in the library make this look like a bit of a horror story. And it's not. It's not exactly scary, but it's not exactly not either. Let me show you the trailer and then say a bit more. Connor has the same dream every night, ever since his mom first got sick, and ever since she started the treatments that don't seem to be working. But tonight is different. That book, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Again, not a scary book, and it does involve a monster, but it's not exactly the horror story that you might first think. Read this one by Ness in Fantasy. Check this one out. The last one I have to share with you today is Tangerine by Edward Bluer, and this is in sports. I dare you to find something about this book that you don't like. There is something for everyone in it. It's got the sports, it's got mystery, it has suspense, it has adventure, it has humor, it's got friendship. There's really something for everyone. In this book, we've got soccer. We've got this mystery that has to be solved. We have giant sinkholes swallowing up a school. Who hasn't wished on a morning that you don't feel like getting out of bed that something would happen that would cause your school to have to stay closed for a day or two? Well, Paul's school, because it's in Tangerine, Florida, gets swallowed up by this sinkhole, and he can't go to school for a while. Let's just say, too, being the new kid at his school might be a little easier for him if he didn't have his older brother Eric bullying him all the time. So that's another element to this story. You got to figure out in this book, what exactly is Eric's problem with his brother anyway? It seems like there's more to it than simply sibling rivalry. And why does it seem like Paul's family has some big secret that they're keeping from him? This is also laced throughout the story. Paul gets to know teammates in his school. He, gets to be playing soccer. There's a lot of that sports action. He makes some good friends. But again, throughout the book, there is the mystery of what secret is his family keeping? What does his brother Eric, why is it that he just is so hard on Paul? You've got to read Tangerine to find out. It is a compelling read. There is something in it for everyone. I dare you to finish this book and not tell me that you didn't like it. Bloor is the author, so you'd look under B in sports. Thanks so much for your attention with today's book talk. I hope that one of these books sounded like one you might want to read. You'll want to come down to the library, check the shelves, put a book on hold using your iPad if you'd like. Otherwise, of course, you can put it on hold when you come down here too. If something is checked out, we'd be happy to put you on the waiting list for that. Thanks so much, and happy reading.